Ladies and gentlemen, by me calling session blim to order. I understand we have someone, Ports Authority, Leroy, Board, and Wharf, Civil Aviation Authority of Solomon Islands. Thank you very much. Very, very good afternoon on behalf of my committee, Bills and Legislation Committee. We are so appreciative of your presence. Thank you for answering our invitation in person, coming, and we indeed value your presence this afternoon on this to contribute to the committee on the bill we have before us, Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill 2025. So welcome. I have on my right a committee member, Honorable Official Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Matiwale, Member of Parliament for Auckland, and myself, Member of Parliament for West Area Constituency, and Chairman of the Bills and Legislation Committee, John Maniniaru. Thank you for coming. You all familiar with the inquiry of my committee, since you have attended past inquiries. You are here under our parliamentary privilege. It is so powerful that anything you present, say to us, will not be held against you in any of our laws. So please capitalize on that and speak to us plainly and boldly on this particular bill before us. I'll give you the floor now. We'll start on my right. Introduce yourself to the mic for our handset purposes, and then after the introduction, then we'll go back and we'll allow you to make your presentation. Please, you have the mic.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Shelita Abe. I'm the General Manager for Office, Leroy Wharf Port. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Hudson Eddie. Me assistant bro, Shelley. Solfish, Leroy Wharf.
Solfish and Leroy Wharf?
Same.
It's just the same. Office is the owner of the Leroy Wharf
company.
Oh, okay.
Yes, those at the back who have the mic, please also join us, introducing yourself.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Joseph Vaja. I'm the assistant PSO for Leroy Port. Thank you.
Assistant what?
PFSO.
I'm the assistant PSO for Leroy Wharf Port.
What name?
PSO, assistant PSO, the Port Facility Security Officer.
All right, my name is John Basikona, Shipping and ISPS Manager, and Solfish Leroy Wharf Port.
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Nelson, and admin for Solfish and Leroy Wharf Port.
Thank you very much. We'll move to the center. Please, SIPA CEO.
Thank you, Chair. My name is George Rousey, CEO Solomon Ports. I'm also here with my other two colleagues, whom they will introduce themselves.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Me, Andrew Kilimani, Port Facility Security Officer, Honera International Port. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Percy Biliki. I'm the Harbour Master for the Solomon Ports. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want to go to Harbour Master? No more?
No.
Leroy? No need, eh?
Yeah, at the moment we use the SIPA Harbour Master.
Thank you. CAASI?
Good afternoon, Chair and member. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Brian Hallison, Director of Civil Aviation, Civil Aviation Authority of Solomon Islands.
Thank you so much. We'll start with the presentation. So we'll go back to my right again, and Leroy, you have the floor. Please make your presentation to the committee.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Chairperson and members of the committee, international ports serve as a critical gateway for trade, tourism, and economic development. However, they are also high risk to entry points for trafficking of dangerous drugs. And effective legislations must balance the national security, public health, trade facilitation, and international obligations. International maritime and air cargo systems are frequently exploited by transitional criminal networks, but there are international frameworks that we can use to use against this the criminal networks like the UNODC, the World Customs Organization, and the International Maritime Organizations. These bodies highlight that over 80% of global trade moves by sea. Containerized shipping is particularly vulnerable and as the concealment methods for criminal activities, especially drugs. Criminal and syndicates operate across multiple jurisdictions through air and also through sea, which 80% of the trade is through sea. Dangerous drugs, they enter through international ports. How they can enter through concealment methods, like false compartment concealment in containers, or misdeclared cargo, drug infusion into legitimate goods, and parcel or courier systems. I think there are legislative gaps and challenges, I think, which is one we are here for, the bills for the dangerous drugs, where we need to update, which is, I think, we are here for. And so far, we have, like, from reading through and going through this, the bill that is served to us, it is mainly on the meth, but there are also other chemical compounds that can also be included in the bill that can be used to manufacture the meth or the ice. In the international port, we have security that the ISPS code that it operates according to, which is the ISPS code. But at the same time, we also need trade for the country. However, we need to balance the security and the trade efficiency by making rigid enforcement to slow the trade for drug or the criminal syndicates that is currently what we are experiencing. Strengthen port security laws, mandate advanced electronic cargo information, information sharing, require compliance with international container security standards. We need to also improve interagency cooperation that are operating within the ports or international ports, like the customs, biosecurity, immigration, or establish a joint statutory joint task force to enable real-time intelligence sharing. International ports are strategic choke points in the fight against dangerous drugs. Effective legislation should be adaptable to evolving drug technologies, disrupt financial incentives for the drug criminals, strengthen port governance, promote international cooperation, balance enforcement with trade facilitation. Strong modern laws at our ports are not merely about border control, they are about national security, economic integrity, and public health protection. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation from the Leroy Board and Wharf. Let's move on to SIPA CEO, please.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, thank you, Chairman of the Bills and Legislation Committee, for inviting us to attend this hearing. Solomon Ports is responsible for the port of Honiara and Noro, and we enforces the entry and exit to these ports. While SIPA welcomes the amendment to Section 39 of the Principal Act, we are also of the view that this amendment is crucial for the deterrence of drug distribution by either importation or exportation. In this presentation, Chair, I will be very brief and straight to the point. I will highlight some policy-level directions and other operational actions that Solomon Ports currently enforces, and also other collaborations that we have with other like agencies, with the intention to adopt and protect our harbor and port facility from incoming dangerous drugs. Firstly, Chair, some of the actions that Solomon Ports taken under its mandate to mitigate against dangerous drugs and making its harbor more freer. Firstly, we strengthen access control and physical security, that is secure all port perimeters and the restricted areas. The main objective here is to prevent internal facilitation and unauthorized access to port areas. We also introduced biometric and controlled ID card access into ports and customs area. There is a 24/7 CCTV coverage within the port's designated areas. We also do inspections at our exit and entry gates, inspections of vehicles and the cargoes that are coming in and out of the port. Also, we demarcate and restrict access zones for the container yard. We also have visitor control and zones and escort procedures within the port. Chair, also in this regard, we, as much as possible, also trying to strengthen our staff integrity and anti-corruption controls. We implement zero tolerance on anti-corruption safeguards, and by doing background screening of our port workers. There is also periodic staff rotation in sensitive areas within the port. There is a whistleblower policy that we also have, and a mandatory ethics training for our staff as well, which once a year. There also, within our harbors department, there are also requirements on incoming vessels to adopt a risk-based inspection system. And by submitting ship documents 72 hours prior to ship arrival, including the cargo manifests. Also, shipping security profiling, when they submit vessels' informations. We look at the port of origin, the shipping route that they take, and as far back the 10 last port where Auta come through, then come Kasimimi. And as much as possible, we also encourage shared information with our other agencies like customs, immigration, biosecurity. I think that in this regard, to mitigate against drugs and safe harbor, all these agencies must also be in the loop as well and all working together for that purpose. Chair, we are also part of the Maritime Security Committee, and that Security Committee comprises of SIMA as the chair. We are represented in that committee by our PFSO. Director of Immigration is also in the committee, Customs, and also our shipping agents. And for an effective drug interdictment at ports, there needs to be more coordination among these agencies, Chair. Also, we have a vessel monitoring system within our Harbour Master Office. We monitor automatic identification system vessel tracking, which is done through our Harbour Master Office. We take note of flag vessels that disable their tracking systems. So those vessels need to be also, maybe it's good to more focus on such vessels, why they do that. Also coordinate more with our maritime police through this committee and also other stakeholders. And we also review high-risk vessels, their histories, before Harbour Master sa campaigning vessel, yeah. Emi assessing first time. Emi, what kind of vessel I'm coming from, which ports, yeah. And then the Harbour Master can pay the vessel. After him pay him, customs and other agencies by him boarding for inspections, health, immigration, biosecurity.
So Harbour Master doing for Leroy Wharf too, since he's also berthing for Leroy? That same procedure?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. No, Milaksa from Harbour Master?
Yeah, yeah.
They actually do it? You do it?
Yeah, we provide the harbour services for Leroy. Where him take him come from Palace Station to Anchorage. Also, Chair, there are other equipments that we need to have as well so that we can detect, at least detect some narcotics where him might concealed and without disrupting our trade flow. We used to have an X-ray.
Yeah, Bakrabna?
Bakrabna.
Why? For lack of use?
Lack of use, yeah. In fact, we will pay him, but then the exchange is with customs. Customs.
Why not less for using?
I don't know. We provide training for them and as well what supplier come to him training for customs.
This time?
This time him sit down. Yeah.
I mean sit down as in
yes,
walk
yes,
up, but
yes.
him sit down.
Him no good. Him no good now.
Would never use him, then him no good?
No, but other level use him.
No,
but not
controller come to them say never use him.
Other use him initially, but then other just stop. Yeah. And I don't think other fully utilize him too. Because now by selecting which containers according to their profiling for come through that scanner, we just facilitate it for them.
So well, karang this is in now with me but
also, Chair, we try as much as possible extend security beyond the port gate. in that we have constant engagement with our stakeholders, especially the shipping agents, have monthly meetings with them, freight forwarders, our major customers, the 10 top importers and exporters. And during those sessions, those are opportunities to, whilst we talk about how efficient we can be to them, they should also use those opportunities for anything suspicious or anything that can help mitigate against the facilitation of the entry of trucks into the harbour. Chair, also, Mikarem, one or two suggesting points. Maybe we should also have an incident response and legal preparedness, yeah? In that we establish a more clearer truck seizure protocols, so that whilst there is a seizure, every agency ought to notified now and secure the evidence that Ogata find him out and notice him. And also a joint investigation team and good media communication channels too, so that everyone is well informed. Also, this should ensure that there is a successful legal flow through any findings or any trucks that are seized. Also should be a monitoring and accountability framework as well, so that we measure and review the performance, maybe quarterly or half-yearly, and some indicators of that performance may be number of containers in screening when coming. Yeah. How many high-risk inspections na imi doing? Maybe so those are seizure statistics. And if we share intelligence reports within that, all the agencies, and of course, everything by come to the integrative lot of staff where are involved. Yeah? How compliant are they? And the main objective of this is, Chair, so that we have continuous improvement and also there's transparency in all those processes. So, Chair, in summary, for an effective protection of trucks, not only within the harbors, but other outside places too, because only harbor we talk about here, but all along our islands are outside pop up anywhere no more. We have to have a layered security model in that the intelligence and there, the technology, physical security, in the agency cooperation. We talk about all agencies collaborate and share information, a strong legal enforcement, and of course, integrity and also accountability of the whole thing. Chair, thank you. This is my brief presentation.
Was your fishing boat come so come transship law harbor or and logging ships? What you will allow them?
Yeah, same process. Those logging ships when they come, our harbor master will go on board. Come, then agencies by go in for doing the inspections, customs, biosecurity, immigration, health. Those are mandatory requirements that all those agencies must put in, not vessels here.
Fishing boats, same.
Fishing boats?
Yeah. Ministry of Fisheries.
Thank you very much, CEO, Solomon Ports Authority. Let's move to CAASI. Please make a presentation.
Thank you, Chair. I'll just share a brief statement from CAASI's perspective. CAASI exercises safety and security oversight of the aviation sector. Civil aviation service providers have the responsibility for protecting against dangerous articles, including drugs, from being introduced into aircraft. These security measures were applied in relation to commercial aircrafts departing the country as well as coming into the country. The screening of persons, their cabin baggage and whole baggage as well as cargo are the fundamental measures that are adopted. The current amendment concerns dangerous drugs introduction into the country. For civil aviation, the threats are mitigated through entry point security control measures of those neighboring countries or our neighboring states. However, vulnerable points can also facilitate entry. These include insider threats. CAASI fully supports increasing the penalty for persons who commit offenses for dangerous drugs. It will serve as a strong deterrent for public and smugglers, controlling behaviors that threaten Solomon Island society and the public. But in saying this, we are conscious of additional vulnerabilities that may exist within the aviation system. The surveillance of general aviation aircraft, these are the private flights who enter the country. Secondly, intermodal transport, where aircraft is used to transport drugs into the country. An example may include persons who enter Solomon Islands by OBM or a yacht and uses domestic aircraft to transport drugs to the capital. In saying those, we recognize there are rooms for improvement. There is a need to strengthen airline agent capacity at outer airports to undertake baseline security measures. We are also conscious of the need to use a mix of screening methods that also include drugs. Finally, Chair, there is a need to strengthen joint intelligence systems to detect and mitigate measures. However, these procedures or provisions are already provided for under the Solomon Islands National Civil Aviation Security Program, which has membership of all stakeholders responsible for aviation security. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CAASI, and thank you all for your presentation to the committee. I'll now allow my committee member to make comments and ask questions on your presentation and direct to you. Thank you.
Thank you. So have you come across Leroy and Port's lawyer? Have you come across drugs-related issues, any lordships so far in your experience?
So far for Leroy Wharf Port, we have not come across any.
I can't remember, you know.
How many ships are in Solomon Island waters at any given day? Where no comes or is passed through the Renau waters? How many ships, roughly?
For Leroy Port, we can account for how many ships we are responsible for. Like if they still go around loading logs.
Oh, you will do more logging?
Yeah, we are also an agent.
We'll come to you. But perhaps Port now you will track ships that are going through our waters, yeah? So how many goes?
Okay, actually, counting, but actually, low screen here by looking, thousands of ships now passing through what areas blame here.
You don't know how many?
Yeah, because according to law screen, yeah, or way we will monitor them, but
there is no way of the ships will pass through our waters, notifying Ports Authority that they're passing through. Not that we do anything, but that we keep a record of how many ships are passing through our territory. No.
No.
No, there's nothing law IMO for requiring ships for report.
IMO, I'm going pathway should ship should report, but the way go past law in the vicinity of Waniaranama, usually report law mifala and mifala save looking and track mota, but law other monitoring, I think Simana the main purpose blow for monitoring all ship that in
So, oga report goes Sima, not lopots.
Yeah, a lot of ship books. We will approach me for the motor VHF where usually have me about less than 24 miles no more. And we have a catch. But I got SSB or the long range radio, so that usually a report look at it.
Secretary, we need to call Sima in. So I'm just, so I'm thinking, again, absolutely no basis for saying so, but I'm thinking on any given day, maybe upwards of 3,000 vessels are going through our waters. We're a choke point for, between Australia and North. And we need to know who is going through, what ships are going through. Even if we absolutely do nothing with that information, we need to know. And then all the ships were what the ofum or transponders blow. How many ships now at Bimosem?
Ship with ofum transponder blow it by no short screen.
But surely you can track that they got to some place and then I'm off and then someplace else and turn back on. Is there an ability to do that?
Yeah. Actually,
so how many?
Simana, I'm actually responsible for that one because.
But you are looking. Ports are looking.
Mifala time staff office naman mifala monitor remote.
So how many, on average?
Kilo average, I think more than. More than 500 or some ships.
Of whom transponder?
No. There are certain times, I think 1, 2, no more been of them transponder, then on in bike or some, but
1 or 2 a week, or 1 or 2 a day, or 1 or 2 a month?
Because we know usually monitor remote every day, but there are certain times I think we say maybe 1 every 2 weeks or something.
I mean, we associate I don't know what they call them, the dark fleet or the shadow fleet, where they came Iranian and Venezuela, well, not anymore Venezuelan, but Russian oil golo, other countries. Those don't pass through our waters, I don't think. Pass through other waters. So the ships that are passing through our waters, there should be no reason why they should turn off their transponders. And if they do, we ought to be concerned and have authority to inquire at the very least, but perhaps take other action additional to that. And then very likely, if you find him, police come store him what subs or find him what fiberglass something, it's very likely that those could be dropped off ships that are off the radar. But our problem is we don't know. And when we're not keeping the data, I think people must improve data collection system, even if you assume that SIMA is doing it as well, but part of the maritime security platform, you all must survey. I've been in your office in Story last time, me look him screen here too. Me no asking me, but I assume that's all the ships that are passing through.
But mainly for the vessels that are within the port limit, well, pass through the port limit or come him now, we spend more time monitoring them. But for the ones that come outside of the port limit, now see me deal with them.
Yeah, okay. Excuse me, Chair. So I think for Maritime Security Committee, there is only one incident, maritime incident reported law, one vessel where him of whom transponder him. So so far.
Leroy, you mean him?
No, that is within Solomon Islands, and him turn him off somewhere, time him down the west. And then
look ship.
One for the international vessel, then him come, and then okata holem detain him little bit time lo here. Excuse blow okatana is it has mechanical problems. So time comes him lo here, then not fix him before him take off. So I think that's the only one where him confirmed I know of, that is from the Maritime Security Committee.
Well, that's the only one that was detained, but I must say one every 2 weeks, roughly from your experience. Yeah? So I mean, I think it's a problem. We as a first line of response or defense is, you may not like him for him even come into our waters. And so anything that risks that first line of defense, we ought to be knowing more rather than less, accepting that, from transport, maybe mechanical, no, that's not a good response. We need to know why out of whom, and that, we should be collaborating with Australia, New Zealand especially, but maybe perhaps other regional countries to understand kind of some ship outcome from you and go away. What can cargo and carry? Why would it turn it off? See if you get some answers from them. Then that report goes on to the next port or to Golhem, then must go check him. We just need to up our game. We want to see a zero tolerance approach in the fight against this problem of drugs coming through our territory. Then the problem along meth, I would say, kakamuiti mot logging CPA. So true. I mean, you wouldn't know, would you? You may run no sabe. Because what can pass log at Saffron's Wharf, Lot Islands, where you may know stop them, surveillance and weak and also. Okay. If, for example, at Leroy Wharf, and you pointed this out in your presentation, that inside the shipping container, for example, if you get the item inside the ceiling blohem or wall blohem, are you able to pick it up, or is somebody able to pick it up, or hard?
It's going to be quite difficult unless we have like proper something to scan for specific drugs or anything or same.
Ports, if that happened, under jurisdiction level?
Yeah, but we don't have the equipment like trace detection devices. If for the hide him by hard for detect him.
Have no X-ray or some other?
I mean, the X-ray can
do something.
Scan and to an extent can, but how thoroughly that by him detect him, attracted him, he didn't. I mean, I'm not so sure.
But there are devices to do that.
I think there are.
What, expensive too much?
Haven't checked, but X-ray expensive, yeah.
How much no X-ray?
It's around 15M Solomon.
Kai,
yeah. Including installation, that's the total cost now.
Then what money less we use him, no?
Yeah, it's not been fully utilized, yes.
Money thrown into. Yes, at the mic, you have the mic.
Thank you very much. I think from the security perspective, since...
It will speak low mic, for him record.
Sorry. I think from security perspective, we need some system in place, especially dealing with, now we're talking about drugs. So like what we're doing, it's a normal operation, we say. We are going through like what we can do daily operations is we have only go through the manifest to see what's coming in. For immediate detecting what is concealed in the container, that's the challenge we're facing, like we said. So we need to step up if there's anything that we can help out to better manage that. But for sure, we are trying our best with the operations we have to be able to detect what is coming in and out. And for the X-ray that our CEOs mentioned, it's been there for some time, and Kamnoma use him, they don't utilize that. So I'm not garage. So we need them to look at it, maybe improve them, looking at how we can able to control and maybe look at how we now can utilize it back, especially what we do.
Thank you.
You will make him buy me no sleep good tonight, man. You will make me worry for good. That's why our Druga comes all you, man. You have absolutely no idea what's coming in those containers.
Okay, excuse me, Chair. Okay, low side law cargo handling, yeah? When they were discharged, this is for us, Leroy Port. Most of our cargoes that come through Leroy Port is break bulk cargoes that don't come into containers. So when it comes to, after discharging, everything goes into the, what needs to go into the warehouse, go into the warehouse. What needs to go to the yard, Hemstapler yard or same. And then when the customers get them now, this the release order blockata, or before they get the release order, they have to get the customs and the biosecurity to come and do the inspection of their cargoes. So that is when okata save open them okata things blockata lo there for physically check what is if what is said in the manifest or in the BL that they send him exactly what him inside lo there or same. So we work according to the manifest as well. Mi fala look in manifest them come something or sem come. Mi fala try for count follow no more what na hem come, how many trucks hem come, how many boxes of this one. But for actually open them, the customer and the customs by security, hem na lo there for open them. We will just be there to witness or cut something or same. But suppose him okata find him, we have a security level of handling the cargoes. So if him just normal cargo and no anything him like where him no inside local manifest him everything inside lo there, then that one him customs him release him go na. But suppose okata come, then one falasa item inside lo there, it was not inside lo there, inside lo manifest what I give him come, then by auto have to customs has to deal with the customer on that one, so they can bakat sa tale mi fala this one no release mi fala hold him up until mi fala na sort him out with him okata seleva. So we are just like custodian of the cargoes that come in through our ports. But if there are any other things like dangerous goods him come inside not declared and all this, we have to escalate the security level of the cargoes to SEMA and to police to get involved as well. So that is the process that we have.
Has that ever happened?
No. That has never happened because we have not come across any.
So how much volume of cargo you handle a year, Leroy, at this time?
I would say maybe around 50 to 60 cubic, 50,000 to 60,000 cubic per year.
Per year?
Yeah.
How much do you handle?
For SIBA, around 35,000 TEUs, containers a year.
In terms of cubic feet, you say?
Yeah, cubic.
You convert them out container gold to one, how much now?
So around what? 800,000 metric tons.
That's rough.
You convert go back to metric tons, 50, 60,000 cubic meters, how much metric ton?
Maybe 70, 80.
So you 70, 80 metric tons?
Yeah.
And you hold how many?
Yeah, about 800,000
metric tons?
Yes.
Oi, so Leroy small to man?
Yeah.
Oh, I think she will threaten imports, but no, not really.
We don't do containerized cargo. All the containers cargo, they go through SIPA.
I see. Very good. Let me come to aviation. There was an incident, you are aware of him, where one for passenger taking some meth from Fiji. So surely we have some kind of a risk matrix that we're looking at different sectors and likelihood of either transiting Solomons, Honiara, but also perhaps Honiara being the destination. In that particular instance, Honiara was the destination. But what do we do in terms of having a risk matrix and implementation of it? Does CAASI have a role?
Yeah, thank you, Member. I heard of the incident from Aviation Security, but do not have the report with me. In terms of mitigation, because CAASI forms part of the aviation stakeholders who are jointly responsible for aviation safety and security, we do coordinate with agencies, but particularly with police, who takes on the corrective actions, investigations from that point on.
So you're coordinating with them, but you don't know what happened?
We do have access to some level of details, but not everything.
So, CAASI, apart from that coordination platform, no any under law, no government powers or anything or something?
At this stage, we have an MOU with RSIPF for threat assessment and intelligence sharing. So that is the current platform that we are operating from.
Also, you delegate that to them?
Yeah.
And they're there doing it?
Yes.
So in your opinion, in terms of risk low airports, how would you rate that?
Yeah, currently, according to the National Civil Aviation Security Program, it's low at the moment, but we do have contingencies in place should the risk elevate to some higher levels.
Yeah, man. We have a problem, you know. The police were here before, and then customs, and going on the data they have collected, we should have no problem. They're talking about grams as opposed to kilograms or tons of drugs going through this country. And we're talking 5 or 6 incidents of this stuff. But we know the use of meth is now widespread, so it's coming somewhere. And if you don't know, I don't know who should know. And so we're trying to make policy responses and make law, but we're all feeling in the dark because you're in the dark. You're sitting in the dark, all of you. And I don't know how to remedy that, or whether you should remedy that, or who should remedy, in your opinion, that darkness. So you may look him clear a little bit of picture, make him. We know what we're talking about, and our response is calibrated to make sure I'm adequate. I mean, the response in this particular amendment, upon penalty, no, 15 million, lifetime. Lifetime, lifetime. Money I'm good, and I'm going sing chorus inside. Oh, bakaba, I'm repent now. I will let them go there. After that, is Governor General give him money, I'm go back home. So lifetime, me no borrow through lifetime. And 15 million for people trafficking, I'm not sure that's a deterrence. 15 million Solomon dollar. I mean, for you, me now, I'm big selling, but money move kilograms or tons of stuff through 15 million Solomon is probably not consequential. But we're all in the dark. I was hoping you would come and, bring us out of the darkness into the light, but you've always come confirm that no more, you may sit down inside darkness, everyone. Because police have no idea, nor does customs. What should we do to lift the darkness, to know more? What should you be doing? And how can the laws support you to be able to do that? Should there be consequential amendments to the Ports Act or CAASI, the Civil Aviation Act? What question? Me like we will go back and pray around it more, and then come back. We want a little bit more of a reflective feedback from you, contribution law. What laws, what can we adopt beyond just the administrative collaboration and security platform and all that? Look at the laws there. So this amendment looks straightforward and simple, but it betrays a lack of depth in its in the approach they have taken. It's not responding to broader issues.
Yeah, okay. I think there's still some very some small loopholes there, side law. If like SIPA and us, we have not encountered drugs coming into the ports. These are regulated ports, but we still have the Sufferance Wharfs as well. Sufferance Wharf plus Okata, because the vessels, they go from log point to log point, which is Sufferance. And inside law, the places here, like there's no, like what we have, security protocols like we have in the ports here, the SIPA and Leroy. We don't have that log points here. So that could be one of the loopholes that we don't know. So previously we used to have customs officers by security inside local log vessels as they go around, but recently we don't have.
Are you true?
Yeah.
Since when?
I think last year maybe 2-3 vessels blow me fala no mota body. The rest of the vessels going around the country, they don't have any officers inside Loheme.
True.
Yes, as an agent.
So how many vessels are we talking about? How many now? No board them. 3 now, no board them. But how many? Or board them, but how many now? No board them.
Could be 20, 30.
How many vessels do you handle a year?
For us, it's about
logging.
Last year, maybe about 15 to 20.
And
I think only about 3.
What board them?
Yes. So this could be some of the loopholes that drugs come in through, but we don't know. And like the Sufferance Wharf up there, it's still operating. Low Goodwood, yeah.
Oh, you will.
But these are because some for cargo, kata drop them there, they take it to Penguin. Some for cargo, they drop it there, take it down there. So cargos go everywhere.
Oh, take them go where? Where was the other place you tell them about?
Low Penguin Wharf.
Wait, not one more? Low another one?
Low up, run and decide.
Sufferance Wharf too?
They actually discharge at the Sufferance Wharf and take the cargoes to another port.
Domestic one?
Yeah. Which could be some loopholes.
This is all under your jurisdiction? Designated port area? CEO?
For us, Goodwood is.
Yeah, what? Penguin no.
Penguin and outside.
I'm under the jurisdiction below who?
It's outside the port's boundary.
So who not responsible for it? Do they have to register under some regulatory framework or no more?
I think maybe through the Comptroller of Customs.
But are they a Sufferance Wharf, Penguin?
No, they just brought the cargoes down there.
So it's just a domestic?
Discharge there.
So with domestic wharf?
So instead of going to one Sufferance port for proper inspection and all this, hem got separated now. So those are some loopholes.
Hey, Secretary, must ask him Goodwood and Penguin come up. Let me ask him good look at it. So perhaps you should look at your, the Ports Act needs to be updated to include not just those within your designated one, but everyone now, every Sufferance Wharf, Emlo Shortland, Emlo Tikopia, must come under law jurisdiction blue. We have to rope all of these in. So the approach that even confirms more this approach is not zero tolerance. We're letting way too many gaps. Okay, but go back and reflect on the various legislations you're working under. You've all worked under which legislation here? Leroy Wharf?
SEMA and Ports Act.
Oh, you all work under law too?
Ports Act.
Okay.
Yeah.
CAASI, you must go reflect, come to law.
Yeah, Chair, I just want to also highlight in terms of the prevalence of drugs at the moment. It's one of the areas that we are planning to mitigate in terms of the civil aviation rules. So New Zealand has gone ahead and developed a rule addressing drugs and alcohol testing, and it is one of the rules that we want to adopt to mitigate the prevalence of drugs, and we want to extend it to the aviation sector. So we'll move ahead in that direction.
But take him come look him. You know, to do himself alone, no, you must take him come look him. So we see how it's complementing everything else that should be done in response to this problem.
Thank you, and thank you for the discussion. Dangerous drugs, lo country, come, and okata kate we blame air, see, ifala, and look was him problem. Me join him leader no more. Hopefully by me sleep good. At the moment, this amendment, 15 million him just pull out no somewhere there and plugged in. For what, yeah? Deterrence. But then him to deter him how, yeah? Every place, yeah, what is land lo him no more, yeah? So please help us to really understand way forward. How na by me strengthen him and you follow for safeguard him interest by me lo country. So as leader has suggested, please go make reflect more on this one, this amendment law on legislation by follow, and then present to us what name we need for luluk lehem. Yeah, because at the moment no matter me put him how many deterrents law there. Okay, still come round no more, yeah. So we need to do more in terms of him stopping before him is have a whole mokataman for penalizing mokatanda or something. You would like to have the please.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Me just like for talk a little bit. Law this one just on behalf I'll speak mainly law ISPS code, which is very important. And I think ISPS, the front line, which is the security within the port facility. And regarding this bill, I think port facility, if there's any declared port in the world, ISPS is very fundamental security-wise within the port. And the code itself, I think within code there is IMDG, International Maritime Dangerous Goods. It's a code within the IMO. So by me look law silo drugs, and me say we don't know why no we know him come. It can be a drug, it's a chemical thing manufactured him sa happen lo here. So IMDG him coming, why him very important inside the facility. Every chemicals while they coming in the country, according to IMDG, it's a class. It has 9 classes. So the issue blometia, it's within the classes, So ISPS code him basically him stand for terrorism. But right now at the moment, those drugs, chemicals, have responsibility as part of the ISPS code to look and see those substances where somehow they come as a drug. So I think law perspective, law based on the ISPS code, 2 things. IMDG code and ISPS code. They are technical and operational part of the overall, with the drug amendment bill, they make a total security inside any port facility. So
you compliant? Lotuval code?
the code for us, Leroy Port, we comply. It's in our PSP.
But your CEO, this talent before him hard for you, sabe? I mean, you're guessing. You know, get break bulk, if you, the way out package him something, and also, hey, you mean, no barava. We don't have X-ray machines that work or other tools that will help us.
So when it comes, look, based on IMDG, hem cover mo kita UN numbers, yeah, the labeling part of the products like chemicals. So the labeling part, hem garin UN numbers, 4-digit numbers, why hem label under the code there. So hem easily for him to track him. So the manifest itself, inside it can be a treat, yeah. A pot water can be pot worker hem save one of it. Hem save handle them with the drugs, yeah. Misdeclaration himself come into at times. And even we don't know the end use of it. Safety kit, narcotics.
Have you had incidents of mislabeling?
I mean, under IMDG code, labeling is very important. Based on the cargo manifest, when there is a chemicals or substances, why?
But have you had an actual case where to mislabel them cargo?
Fully report, no. We don't have it. But there's a procedure in place where I think it's essential for the drug bill. We need to look at it.
Ports, you don't got a mislabeling issues? No cargo coming in?
No.
I think all cargoes that are coming in, just like, say, we always work together with customs and all agencies. When they declared, when they say that the cargo delivery surrender, we facilitate that. So when anything that maybe ought not mislabeling or whatever thing, because very important is sharing information with all those agencies. Home ports, what we do if they said, oh, this container cannot go, we put it as the high risk. So if we talk with the Mifala, our part, we have to work with them, put them that one until Lord say him clear before we can release that. And next thing they can go is go to the examination site where they'll ever go to from Mifala. So we don't know what's going on. Because some of the contents what take them out, it's delivery of those 40 footers, 20 footers, they take it from our facility, they go out and do it a lot of places where they sell ever dream. So that's one of the challenges. That
what is done elsewhere in the region? I mean, PNG, Fiji, or perhaps even Australia and so forth. What now get the ports or get dream for mitigating what the risk of this one?
Sipa?
Like, for me, very important.
You must speak low mic, make him answer.
Yeah, so, Chairman, what we did here is, that's what we do normally do here. So whenever everything is declared release, we follow the instructions. Even with the customs release, this is what we do. Unless if there is any information from them that is suspicious, then it will be held at the port. But everything is released from the port, it's gone.
So I'm getting from that, what you're saying is, worry block customs here. So if customs name tell him, we will hold him. But if customs release him, we will release him. But on your own, you don't take any proactive measures on your own, complying with him to the code. Because I'm assuming those codes are imposed on you, not on customs.
Yes, for sure, Sir Chairman. Like we said, whatever information is shared from the customs, this is what we work together with them. If it approved by them, or if there is any information that no, we cannot release that, even though they say we can release that, but if there's any information coming to us to say there is something suspicious, we can also hold that container, and we cannot release that.
Good, you will go pray good, then look at acts here, and right come back.
Yes.
Tell us how we can all work together to strengthen our laws don't be constrained by the proposals in this amendment bill. Very simple one, but probably not adequate on its own.
Yep.
So look at your various pieces of legislation and help us so we can, when we make our report, it's as informed as it can be. But also, if it means further consequential amendments to your various legislations, you could perhaps even, you all have lawyers, perhaps even play around with words and suggest, some drafting, how it might look. May strengthen a legislative framework, in responding to this matter.
Thank you, Leader. That said, important for Luluk law future blue. And here we can agree that pick up him we really provide him the needed security for country blue. So as leaders suggested, go give him me follow what not in so that he may work look together and me follow here put him make him less leaders blame me work on him if there is a need for me make a more amendments law at the ask brief I think that is need to be prioritized as well. With that, let me again, on behalf of the committee, Bills and Legislation Committee, thank you, Leroy, Sipa, and CAASI for come and make him that presentation brief. Please go back and pray more as leader said, and then make him further submission. Thank you. Very good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.